I'm 3990, and this is Hades Star Basics. Welcome back. I've generally followed a similar routine every 12 hours or so. First, I'll run shipments and open up researched artifacts from the last red star. After that, I'll run a red star to refill the research station. Then, check if I can start any upgrades, and repeat later on once all my planets are full. Aside from this routine, I'll generally do a couple red star salvage runs as well. Quite a bit has changed since we last left off. I've upgraded the red star scanner to level 3. My transports and miner are now level 2. My battleships are still level 1 because they're doing alright with battery and alpha shield at the current red star level, but they will need to be upgraded soon. I've built the time modulator, which speeds up time in the yellow star. I activate it when doing shipments, which now take about 7 minutes to complete with 4 transports, compared to the 30 minutes it used to take with just 2 transports and no time mod. The time modulator is definitely worth the 1,000 credits it cost. It works for 10 minutes and then takes 12 hours to recharge. My last sector scan with the starter scanner uncovered this anomaly. This will eventually be the blue star scanner, Hades Star's PvP Battle Royale. I built 2 short-range scanners. While it's not necessary to build 2, I did so I can try to place my planets close together once I start scanning. Please take care when placing scanners and check out some of the online resources on the topic, as it is possible to place them wastefully and cost yourself a couple million extra credits in the long run. My fleet is now set up as follows. 2 battleships with battery level 2, alpha shield level 2, 4 transports with cargo bay extension level 2 and shipment computer level 1, and 1 miner with mining boost level 2 and remote mining level 1. By this time, I've unlocked the ability to research a lot of modules from level 3 artifacts. Hades Star does a really good job of making all of these modules useful in some capacity at some point in the game, but there's a few key modules you should focus on at this early level. Battery, a good all-around weapon, fires on a single target, does decent damage, will also be useful at higher levels. Alpha Shield, a cheap little bit of extra HP for combat scenarios. This, coupled with knowledge of how to deal with bad guys, might be enough to get to Red Star level 4. If need be, unlock Passive Shield, which doubles the amount of usable HP. Delta Shield may look appealing with the extra speed boost it offers, but in my opinion doesn't offer the protection needed for this level in the game. My goal is to get to Red Star level 4 so that I can unlock Omega Shield. Cargo Bay Extension opens up additional space on transports to move more things around. The extra 3 slots it currently provides will work just fine for the next Red Star level. Shipment Computer. Here I'm setting multiple waypoints. Once the transport gets to the first destination, it will pick up any shipments destined to subsequent waypoints. And for these picked up shipments, it will then apply an 8% bonus to their value. Clicking on any planet will show the destination of that planet's shipments. Mining Boost. Speeds up the harvesting speed of miners. Remote Mining. Collects hydro from all asteroids in a sector at a reduced rate. So here my miner is mining 5 asteroids at 0.36 times the normal rate per asteroid. But this, along with Mining Boost, means I'm pulling hydrogen at a rate of 4.5 times the normal rate. If I were in a sector with only 2 asteroids, this would be 1.8 times the normal rate. So we can see how these 2 modules work very well in tandem. Last module I'll mention is Sanctuary. Definitely one I'll be unlocking soon, but it's 50 grand. Anyway, it prevents ships and their modules from being lost when destroyed in red stars. They'll instead be teleported back to the red star scanner, with no loss of anything more than any cargo they may have been carrying. Let's talk quickly about Salvage Runs, a way to supplement your income. Basically, running a red star and salvaging the artifacts instead of researching them. In this example, I have 2 level 3 planets right next to my jump gate, as well as a level 2 down here that I can pull artifacts from. On top of that, there's a player down here that will go on to clear nearby sectors, further reducing the amount of hydrogen I need to use moving around. So the value in Salvage Runs is however many credits one gets from the artifacts, weighed against all the things that cost hydrogen and how much time it takes. In this case, I'll pull 8 level 3 and 3 level 2 artifacts from the planets, totaling 7,600 credits, and a small bit of hydro in rewards. I ended up using a little under 1,000 hydrogen for 7,600 credits. Not a bad way of making some extra credits, especially if I'm saving up for something and only need a couple thousand more to do so. The amount of value varies depending on the red star, ship, and module levels. Planet locations are random, and I could have ended up with planets much farther away from my jump gate, affecting take-home value. These are all things to consider for salvage runs. I went on with this routine of shipments, artifact research, and salvage runs for about a week, upgrading planets and unlocking modules periodically. I started scanning sectors using the method described in an older video. The first, an empty sector. The second revealed a new gas planet, by chance, right where I wanted it to go. Planets offer varying shipment value based on their type, from lowest to highest: desert, fire, water, Terran, and gas. There will eventually be ice planets as well, which give the best shipment rewards. The rest of this video is going to focus on enemy ships and how to deal with them. Level 3 red stars are a good benchmark for higher levels because we'll only encounter 2 types of enemies in varying numbers. For every higher red star level, a new ship type and a greater number of enemies will be encountered, but the principles we talk about with RS3s can be applied to all. The method is relatively simple. Focus on only engaging in combat with a single ship at a time. Upon entering a sector, these ships, Cerberus Guardians, will generally be the first to move towards you, if not already at the asteroid or planet you're heading to. They have 7,000 hull strength and use a level 1 battery to deliver 60 damage per second. Not much of a threat on their own, but if you add in a Cerberus Sentinel or another Guardian, you'll start losing HP quickly while only reciprocating to the one. Sentinels have only 750 hull, but deliver much higher damage. They're quick to destroy when targeted, so an option would be to move to them first, sweep them, and then deal with the less lethal Guardians one by one. Once an enemy has entered your weapon range, you'll target that enemy until they're destroyed or until you or they move out of the effective weapon range. When 2 ships are moving to engage in combat, the closer of the 2 will always be targeted first, so I can activate shield on that one to help tank the damage. An X will indicate the respective target when selecting any ship. As other Cerberus ships start moving in, I'll waypoint elsewhere to try to avoid further incoming damage. This is sometimes difficult to do depending on asteroid placement within the sector, but of course there's no active threat until you actually enter the sector, so just take a moment to figure out a basic strategy before getting involved. How would you handle this sector? Moving directly to the planet would almost certainly end badly. Both ships would likely target one of the 2 Guardians here, while the other ships move in to effect a lot of damage. Instead, I opted to clear the 2 Sentinels. They died quick, and then I can move on to the other 2 enemies. And again, ships won't start their movement towards me until I actually cross their sector line. My neighbor opted for a similar tactic, targeting the Sentinels first and moving on from there. Sometimes taking on the weaker Sentinels first isn't feasible, so I may opt to draw enemies towards me and then move elsewhere. Remember, once a waypoint is set by you or the enemy, it can't be changed. And these 2 types of enemies cannot move outside of their sector, so use these game mechanics to your advantage. As mentioned before, these basic principles apply to higher red stars as well. And if a couple battleships get lost at this level, it isn't the end of the world. It's only a couple thousand to build and equip a new battleship, compared to a couple 100,000 once I get to higher levels. So the Sanctuary module should be researched soon to help diminish future losses. Pay attention to other players in red stars. Watch what strategies and modules they use, whether successful or not, so that you can make informed decisions with your own game. While what I've talked about in this video should be enough to get by, you should always be thinking about the next step of expanding and improving your empire. The next video will get into more expansion within the Yellow Star and more into the social aspects of the game, like corporations, diplomacy, and artifact trading. I'll probably fire up the Blue Star scanner and get into that as well. If you enjoyed the video, you know what you can do. Thanks for watching.